Does your family spend a lot of quality time together on their phones or on their iPads or tablets? Sometimes I look around when everyone is plugged into the matrix and I wonder if I can count it as family time. I mean, everyone is happy doing their own thing, watching their own show or playing a game. And it's hard, especially if you have different age kids, to find something that everyone likes. I have four kids, with the youngest in elementary school and the oldest in high school. Even finding a movie for a family movie night is pretty challenging. Either it's too scary for the little one or it's not exciting enough for the older ones. Well, on today's episode of Faith Habits, I'm going to let you in on one of my best secrets for building a fun, quality time faith habit with your family. Faith habits connect your everyday behaviors with your belief system. Rather than letting the pressures and popularity of this world define you, the Faith Habit Show for Success will keep you focused on God's priorities for your life. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Lisa Toney. So what do you do on the weekends? I know they are filled with getting the groceries and doing the laundry and just keeping up on all the errands before diving back into the week on Monday. But we all have at least a little more time on the weekends. This is time that can be used to build relational connection and have fun as a family all together. So just to encourage some family fun, I have created my top 10 list of our family's favorite board games. I'm wondering, how many of them have you played? Put it in the chat below. Or if you need a list of some new ones, there might be a few on there that you don't have and you should check out. You can look at this list at lisatoney.com/game night. And I hope you find some really fun ones on there. Do you have any family traditions that you love? I can think back, and at an early age, my parents and grandparents built a tradition of playing cards when we had family get-togethers. Now, my grandpa Huber died when I was in fifth grade, so I didn't have a long time to know him. I don't have a lot of memories, but I do remember sitting at a table playing cards with him and watching him wiggle his ears. I have never known anyone else who could wiggle their ears. Do you know people who can do that? But I remember him being able to do that. But playing games like euchre and hearts and oh heck. I'm pretty sure oh heck had a different name, but that is how it got passed down to our family and the card game that we play. Usually it would be after a holiday meal, times like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter or the 4th of July. Those were always our big family gatherings where we would have people over and have a meal, and then after the meal, we'd play cards. My dad loved to play cards. And I remember he even made up a super easy game for me and my two sisters when we were too little to know all the numbers on the cards and learn strategies. He called it red and black. And we just had to follow the red or black color or change the color with the same number. It was kind of an early predecessor to Uno, I think. My parents had a little closet that they dedicated to board games. It was just full of games that we could play. We often would get a new game for Christmas and get to add it to our collection. We grew up playing games like Monopoly and Life, Uno, Clue, Candyland, Chutes and Ladders. Those were some of the early games my sisters and I would play together. Oh, and Memory. Do you remember Memory with all of the cards and you could flip the two over? We had lots of memory games. Later, when I got married, my husband and I would have epic game nights of Settlers of Catan, or we'd even host murder mysteries and play a good old game of whodunit. I grew up playing games and not realizing all the benefits that come along with playing cards and board games. Because games are actually really good for your brain. They help you develop cognitive skills like decision making, higher level strategic thinking, and problem solving. They teach you how to take turns and how to wait your turn, which is pretty hard, especially when you're little. But this is a great way to practice that. Games teach you how to be part of a team and how to negotiate with others. And they also provide an opportunity to take risk with low stakes. And I love this, especially when you're playing with kids, because taking risks with low stakes is a really good skill to practice so that you learn in an environment that is safe and you don't lose money or possessions or relationships. Games teach you how to learn rules and how to communicate with others. And they even teach you social skills while you interact with others. Lots of good things packed into playing games. Now, I had no idea that card games and board games were doing all those things while I was growing up or engaging with games with friends. I just knew they were fun. Well, today we're talking about a faith habit of fun and building a quality time tradition within your family or even just your friend culture. Faith habits can be fun. They don't always have to be super spiritual in a serious way all the time. God created fun, and I believe He loves it when our family and our friends have fun with one another. There's a scripture in Ecclesiastes 8:15, and it says, "So I recommend the enjoyment of life, for there is nothing better on earth for a person to do except to eat, drink, and enjoy life." Well, there's lots of other good things to do as well, but enjoying life is one of the blessings of being human. Jesus himself said that he came so that we could have an abundant life. That's a fun, life giving life. Now, there are definitely times to work and other times to rest, but there's other times to have fun. I used to walk with a dear friend that was a few years ahead of me in life. She told me about how she started to build a game night culture in her family, and they'd have candy and play board games. Now, I thought this was pretty amazing because she's a pretty big health person, and so I didn't even know she let her kids have candy. But she told me so many fun stories of how they'd laugh and negotiate and have epic battles. Now, my kids were still pretty little at that time, but I was determined to try and start a family game night tradition. So we started. Friday night family was going to be family movie night. So declared family movie night on Friday, and then Saturday night family game night. So for each family game night or family movie night, I'd make big bowls of popcorn and get everyone in the same room doing the same thing. Now, family movie night got harder as the kids got older because some of them graduated out of the animation and the younger ones still didn't want anything too scary. But game night we could do. There are so many games that are great for kids and adults of all ages to play together. Now, we don't play every weekend. Some weekends are too busy, but most weekends we do. And it is so fun. Building a fun habit of a game night in your family can be a great habit to build for so many reasons. It gives your kids the stability of knowing and planning for quality time together. And it teaches your kids to get along with each other. And it definitely works on patient building skills of parents. Board games and card games are also great opportunities for learning sportsmanship, celebrating with the winner, and learning how to lose graciously. It's a great opportunity to teach the winner not to gloat or brag, but be supportive of other players. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." I just love how scripture talks about joyful hearts and having fun. Joy bubbles over into smiles and laughter and high fives and fist bumps and encouragement. And that is definitely something that I want more of in my family. There's way too many things to get stressed out about, and we need to build that fun in. Not to mention that when we have fun, it relaxes our environment. It relaxes our bodies and it calms down anxiety. Laughter sends more oxygen to our brains and it triggers those endorphins to help us feel more positive about ourselves and our others, including all the siblings. That means we're building positive memories about our families. And that is why faith habits of fun are so great and so important. Because laughing is going to lower our blood pressure, it's going to relieve stress, and it's going to improve our mood. Having fun is healthy for you and your family on so many levels. Now, I love a scheduled game night that our family has come to look forward to. The hardest part is which game to choose. Before my dad went home to be with Jesus a couple summers ago, he actually carved a wooden game board for me and for each of my kids. He had no idea that that summer after he finished those, his body would be racked with cancer and he would go home to be with Jesus. What an incredible blessing to have that custom board game as a family heirloom now. I treasure it, and I'm so glad my kids each have one too. Now, of course, we always allow for unscheduled game times, and we've carved out a space from an old TV cabinet that we've turned into our game closet. And I'm always on the lookout for games that my big family of 6 can play that work for elementary through high school. Some games only allow for 4 players, so I've learned to figure out if I can make it work with 2 sets to expand it to allow for more players. Some games you can do that, some games you can't. But I would absolutely love to hear from you what your favorite board games or card games are. Did you grow up with a game culture? What game would you recommend to our Faith Habits community? Put it in the comments below. I can't wait to read all about them. I can't wait to explore them and maybe even play them. Well, F-U-N, fun. What a glorious word. We all love having fun, but sometimes we just get way too busy. We work too much, or we are too stressed, or we just are too set in our routines. Fun is important. It is something that we need. It is something that God created for our good. And some of us are really good at spontaneous fun, and others of us need to plan a little more fun into our lives and schedules. When you plan this fun into your schedule with your family with a routine game night, maybe just once a month or maybe once a week like we do, it will make a huge impact on building quality time with your family. Well, I've got a great list of games to get you started, so head on over to lisatoney.com/game night and find one that you can try. Pop some popcorn, make some hot chocolate or a lemonade, maybe bust out some special treats, and put all the tech away. Spend time talking, laughing, cheering each other on, and learning how a family game night or a friend's game night can make a huge difference in building intentional quality time together. Well, thanks so much, friends, for joining me today for Faith Habits. I always love to get a chance to spend a few minutes with you championing faith habits to encourage you to stand firm in your faith and bring Jesus to your people. Fight the good fight, love boldly, grace and peace to you, my friends. Until next time. Easy, intentional, and powerful. Faith Habits. Get your free Power Up prayer guide today at lisatoney.com/powerup. Thanks so much for joining me today on Faith Habits for Success. Here's to good faith habits, my friend. Be strong and courageous and stand firm in your faith. See you next time. Bye for now.